Hi, I'm Kath, and this is a series of conversations about things that I think are really important with a bunch of people that I'm inspired by, and I hope you enjoy them as much as I enjoyed having them.
Hello, I'm Zoe Terakes. I'm a queer, non-binary, trans actor. That's a mouthful. And I'm an Aries.
Hi Zoe.
Hi, Kath.
Welcome to In Conversation with Kath.
Thanks.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
You're an actor and quite the activist online. You also like to dance to musicals from time to time, specifically Rocky Horror? Yeah, Rocky Horror Picture Show, which is very impressive.
Thank you.
And to start off, I just wanted to ask, how did you get into acting and what provoked that path for you in life?
Well, I always wanted to do it, like since I was little, but also never saw people that looked like me on TV. And I was like, okay, well, this is not an option. So I thought I maybe wanted to do directing or visual arts or something, and then kind of was doing drama in school, and then an acting teacher kind of pulled me aside out of school, and I started doing classes, and then got my first agent. And then that first agent was like, here, take this audition as a practice, see how you go. And I did the audition, like, fucked all my lines, like, just not good, so bad. And then got a call back somehow, and then I was like, oh, okay. And then worked hard, and then got it, and that was Janet King. Yeah, and then from there, every opportunity has kind of led to the next one. So from that, I met Ian Sinclair, who directed A View from the Bridge. So yeah, it was like the best, mistake is the strong word, but of my life. Like, it was a really happy accident to end up doing what I've always wanted to do, but in a way that kind of was by accident.
As a queer, non-binary individual, have you ever felt that impact your journey as an actor? Do you find yourself kind of moving in the space differently because of that, or not at all? It doesn't really intersect?
Yeah, it was certainly a decision. There's been two decisions. I feel like coming out as gay and then coming out as non-binary, there's been kind of two terrifying moments. And when I was like 16, I wasn't sure. I was like, oh, I don't know what to do. And then I got a bit of flack from a couple of people just being like, keep it quiet. It'll affect things. And I was kind of, okay, and I didn't say anything for a while. And then Kate Box, who played my partner in Wentworth, I was put in touch with her, and she kind of, in other words, said, you know, you have me to call because I did it, and you want to be that person for other people. And I was like, oh my God. And that was like the game changer conversation where I was like, of course I want to be that person for other people. And it's hard for me because I have fuck all people to look up to who have done it before me, you know, like in this country at least. And so even though I've definitely felt the effects of it, not in theatre, but in screen, like I haven't played a straight role on screen since I came out. But I don't really mind. I'm like, that's okay. I love gay people and I love playing them. So it's not me. But yeah, there's definitely been ramifications, but also it's bigger than me. And it's about doing it so the next person doesn't have those implications. And also, if I'm finding it hard, like imagine what happened before, you know, like where it was so detrimental to your career and your personal life and your safety. So I feel very lucky to be able to even say the things I'm saying here and play the roles I'm playing now.
So you found it to be like a positive thing?
Yeah, on the whole, yeah, totally. And also when you, I think, start to live your truth and let other people see that in all honesty, that's when those things come to you. So I was like, oh, I don't know whether to come out as non-binary. It's like doing it all again, and it's like going to have effects again, which it has. But like literally within months, I got the audition for Wentworth. So I think the universe thanks you for being truthful in kind of miraculous, mysterious ways. Yeah.
Do you think it's helped you with your art, being more authentic to yourself? Do you think because you're now playing roles that maybe queer?
Yeah, but even with roles that aren't queer, like when I did A View from the Bridge, I was hiding less. And she's a 1950s kind of seductive young girl. But I had less to hide. And I felt like there was less of a feeling of, oh, people are going to figure me out. Or they'll know and they'll see that the chemistry isn't real, blah, blah, blah. But when you just go, okay, I'm laying it all out on the table, so I beat you to it. I tell you before you tell me. Then ultimately you have more truth in you, therefore more truth in your acting. And then when it comes to playing gay roles and non-binary roles or trans roles, I'm like, rad.
Yeah.
You know, you just get to be more yourself than ever.
Yeah. Obviously, you're on Wentworth, and that role is trans male. And I was just wondering what your experience has been like playing that role.
It's incredible. Like, I feel so fortunate to be able to tell that story, and it's been the greatest kind of joy of my life being on that set. But the pressure is enormous by the same token, and feeling the weight of a whole community on your shoulders and wanting to represent that community so accurately, but also only being one person with one experience. And so I kind of from the get-go have just been like, okay, if I tell my story and my experience, I can't be wrong because it's mine and it's true to me. And so that's kind of the approach I'll continue to take, I suppose, because I don't know, it feels accurate without feeling so enormous and daunting. But yeah, playing that role has taught me so much about myself. And that's also why I think it's really so important for trans people to play trans roles, because it just means more. Like, Reb has taught me more about myself than any other role. Yeah. And I feel like I've got to explore parts of my own gender and identity and just me as a person and how I relate to other people through him in such a brilliant way. Yeah, so it's been the greatest joy, and I'm so excited to keep going.
Yeah, totally. From your own experiences, what is your opinion on representation in the media? Do you believe that we are making steps towards better representing, or do you think we have like a really long way to go? What's kind of your...
I think the face of a show or of a production of anything is so important, like having trans people playing trans roles, having trans people of colour and trans women of colour at the forefront at all times. But that also applies just as much, if not more, to off-screen. Like, we need trans writers in the room. A consultant isn't enough anymore. It's never been enough. Pay people, pay writers, pay directors, pay people whose stories these belong to. And who will be able to tell it better than a cis person, because they just will, because they've lived it. And train people up. If there's not that many, then pay someone, train them. Trans directors, trans crew, trans hair and makeup, people of colour in hair and makeup who know how to work with different skin and different hair. Trans people in costuming, because a lot of costume people don't know what a binder is, and they don't know what packing is, and they don't know what tucking is, you know? So it's in every department that this kind of whole systematic change needs to happen. So I think, yeah, we've come a long way in terms of the face of things, but in terms of behind the scenes, that's where the work needs to be done for creating an authentic place for trans people to feel safe.
What is one thing, if you could pick one thing for people to take away from this conversation, big or small, whatever, what would it be?
To any trans people watching, I feel like I've gone on about, you know, how much we have to do and the pressure and stuff, but like, you being a trans self is beautiful and big, and it's enough, and you don't need to put any more work in. Then, like, being you, that's already a fight, that's already a protest. So just, you do you, that's power. That is a revolution in and of itself. And being trans is magic. I wouldn't change it for anything. It's like the greatest thing that ever happened to me. And it's hard and it's terrifying, but it's also the future. And I feel very lucky to be trans, and I hope everyone else who is trans also feels blessed and a little bit magic and a little bit sacred. That's what I want people to take away.